Hi everyone, welcome to Fire Mountain Gems and Beads Jewelry Making Studio again for another gemstone of the month. This month we're going to focus on lava. It's really easily recognizable because it's the most common rock on the planet. And it's got some wonderful metaphysical properties as well. Good for grounding you to the earth and also to release the power of fire. At least that's what they say. So this lava stone is also great for aromatherapy. Now this stone is waxed, and so it doesn't absorb your essential oils so well. But we have instructions online on how to remove that wax if you'd like it to be removed. We also have some of the lava stones that are unwaxed, like this one here. Put your essential oils on it and let it dissipate throughout the day. You can even put it inside of a little locket to make that something easily worn that's not going to get oil on your blouse. Today's project is a lava necklace with Byzantine chain. Let's get started. I'm going to start with this focal bit first. It's fairly simple. It's basically a beaded link, which we've made plenty of them at Fire Mountain Gems, and you may have already seen a video on it, but that's okay. This time I'm doing it with a 16 gauge wire, which is a pretty thick wire. So I need beads that have fairly big holes. These lava beads have nice big holes. And I'm also going to use these blue glass pearls. These have big enough holes, but they also have a little bit of flash on them, a little bit of the extra color coding. So sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to get those onto the wire. And you may need to use a bead reamer to get the excess flash or dye out of there. So we're just going to string these on. Super easy. Put on a pearl and a lava bead. And that's all I'm going to do for about a minute while I get this all lined up. And then I'll show you how to make the simple loop. Y'all know the difference between pahoy hoy and ah-ah, correct? Anybody who's had a vacation to Hawaii must learn these things, because the pahoy hoy is ropey and like Pele's hair. And the ah-ah is lumpy and crunchy and more like the rock we think of. I don't believe they use the same words in other parts of the world with lava. And when you get a bead that doesn't want to go on, pick another one. It didn't want to be part of your necklace. Sometimes with this kind of bead too, that has a little bit of flash around the hole, sometimes one side of the hole is difficult, and you turn the bead over and the other side of the hole works just great. So don't be afraid to turn that bead over and try again. Okay, so now I've put on all 10 of my lava beads. They come in a package of 10, so that's perfect, and also 11 of the glass pearls. We've got that now. Now all we need to do is put a simple loop on the end. Oh, I did want to point out a rose tip. Notice that I work directly off of my spool of wire. That's to be conservative and use less wire, because if I cut off a chunk, then I'm going to waste a couple inches of wire. I didn't want to do that, so I work right off the wire. And now I'm going to make my simple loop on this end. And notice this end has not been flush cut the way I like. So I'm also going to do that. You notice on your flush cutters, you've got like a flat side and you've got an angled side. This side gives you the best end of your working wire. So I'm going to cut this off just a little bit so that I have a nice flush cut on this end. If I'd gone to this end, I'd get a wedge shape on there. Sometimes that might be important. Okay, so I'm going to make a 90-degree bend. How big a loop do I want? I want a pretty big loop because I want to put 2 jump rings through it. So I'm going to give myself ample room, like maybe a whole inch. Then I'm going to pick up my round nose pliers, and since I want to make a big loop, I'm going to hold it very far up to the base of the plier so that I get a nice big loop. Make a nice loop. There we go. See if I can turn that so the camera can see it. There we go, got our nice loop. Push these beads down to the end. And I'm going to make another loop on the other side. So I make a 90-degree bend, see, about not quite an inch. Set that aside. And grab it near the base of the pliers, roll it back. There we go. And I also want to make sure these loops are parallel to each other. See, if I hold it this way, this one's up there. So all I'll do is grab it with my 2 pliers and I'll twist them so that my loops are parallel. And I'll give it a little bit of a bend because it looks nice that way. I want it parallel to my bend too. There we go. There's our little smile for the bottom of our necklace. Now it's time to make that Byzantine chainmail. This is one of the most important, I think it's one of the most important weaves there is because it's used so often and it's so beautiful. I really like it when it's nice and dense. This one's a little bit loose and airy, but that's a different look and that's okay. For me to start this, I just put a couple of jump rings on a paper clip so I know what end I'm working from. Just give me a point of reference. And I should tell you too right now, there's a wonderful video at Fire Mountain Gems on how to do Byzantine chain. And it's done by Sue Ripsch, who is a famous chainmail artist. She has the best technique. She uses shower curtain rings to describe this. They're so big and easy to see. You will be able to do Byzantine chainmail by watching her video. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of it, but I got to recommend that video. You got to go there and check it out. Okay, so I start with 2 closed jump rings on a paper clip. I'm going to add an open jump ring and 2 closed jump rings. And close it. So I've got like a little chain here. 2, 1, 2, not good. I need 2, 2, 2. So I'm going to need another open jump ring. I'm going to put it exactly where that last jump ring was, parallel to it, so that I form a chain that would be called a 2, 2, 2 chain. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, and 2. Now comes the fun part. You're going to grip those 2 jump rings down at the bottom, and the 2 on the end, you're going to treat them like the leaves of a book and open them up. Then, with an open jump ring, you've got one ready and handy, going to reach between there. And where my pliers are, that's where I'm going to put a jump ring. Like that. And close it. Always twist open and close your jump rings. Again, everything's in 2s, so I need to put a second jump ring in that exact same spot, parallel to it, being careful not to loop them inside of each other. They have to be parallel to each other, not crossing each other. So I put another one just parallel to the other one, making sure I don't loop into it. And there I have a part of a Byzantine link. That's half of it. Now from this one, I'm going to add another jump ring and 2 more closed jump rings. One of the nice things about the Byzantine is you don't have to open every single jump ring, which can be time consuming. I will say though that when I open jump rings, I use a jump ring tool. This is a jump ring tool. And I just set it on my thumb like that. And I pick up my jump rings and I slip them into the slot and twist them open. I believe we have a video on how to use a jump ring tool too. Not positive. Okay, so I need another jump ring that's parallel to this. There we go. And another set of jump rings. Because again, just like we did at the beginning where we had a 2, 2, 2 chain, from this point I need a 2, 2, 2 chain. So I need to finish the last link of this section of chain. And once you watch that video by Sue Ripsch, you will be so proficient at this that you'll see the pattern and you will just go for it as I do. And I'm not going to show you the whole chain. I'm going to finish this link and then I'll show you what I do after that. So here we go. You saw what I did. I'm sorry. I wasn't explaining. So I got my 222 chain again, flip the last two over like the leaves of a book, and I'm going to go between these two and pick up the two jump rings that are underneath with an open jump ring. There we go. And that, my friends, is Byzantine chain. Wonderful weave for you to use in many applications. And as you can see, it's actually quite repetitive. And once you get it down, you can just go for it. So I'm not going to show you this entire length of this necklace. I just wanted to make sure you had an idea how to do this and where to look to remind yourself how to do it in a bigger format. So check out that video by Sue Ripsch and I'll show you what I did. Okay, everyone, so while I was away, I went ahead and made two nice long sections of this Byzantine chain to finish our necklace. And I actually already added this side to it. And now we'll finish the necklace by adding this side. I do have to get this back into its little butterfly position, so I'm going to fold that back, reach in between, grab the middle, and there's where we're going to attach it to our focal. Oops, got to attach it to the right focal. There we go. And like everything else in Byzantine, I like it in twos. So I had to put another jump ring right there parallel to it. Different people have different thoughts on opening jump rings. Some say you need to twist right and twist left. I find it doesn't really matter whether you twist it open right or you twist it open left, as long as you're consistent, because you'll get used to whichever way you do it. So there's the other end of that chain attached to my center focal, and all we need to do is add the clasp. Again, you can see where my end of my chainmail got a little bit messed up. So I go back to the opening up the leaves of the book and reaching in between. And this is where I'll add my clasp. And double that up, keeping everything parallel, not looping into each other. This is a great clasp too. I like this nice big hole so that I can put two jump rings through it. It's kind of a rose thing. I like to do double jump rings because I find they're extra safe. That's where your necklaces almost always break, right? Is at the jump ring. Well, if there's two jump rings, then it's hardly ever that the gap on both of them is going to be in the same place at the same time. So it's unlikely to let go of your necklace. So I made my books opened up, but I'm going to grab right there with an open jump ring and add my clasp. Close the jump ring. Double it up. I know a lot of you think this is a long time to make this chain and all, but imagine how happy the receiver of this gift will be to know that you took the time to make that chain for them in their favorite colors or their favorite shape and length, that it was made by you. So there you have it, a beautiful chainmail, Byzantine and lava rock necklace. And don't be afraid to change out the length of that. Look at here. Here we have another very similar chainmail made into a bracelet. Bracelets, earrings, Byzantine's good for all of those things. and lava rock provides you with lots of strength and power from the earth. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you make this project and enjoy it and love it the way I do. Happy beading.